Everything else is tight. And then when you move to go to that swivel, you're like a thing up and out.
Right, so like if I'm here, yeah, like you know, like what the primary like this is not like a lot of our track. Now I can still be strong with these if I just go back to there. Right.
Okay, I'm gonna focus on that.
Yeah, I was trying to read it.
And then you're like, I couldn't have kept down here and then do this. Try and try to have the ball off.
I like to do the whole
Try it again.
I love it. I'm trying to feel like you're fighting with the strong. You know what I mean? Like when you were at the bottom, like you are. This is a hard grip to play. You're strong guy. Okay. I can feel that. I know this is a game that you're like. Big hat. Holy cow. You know? Just go ahead. Good job. Hey, over his body. Work on the bottom. Yeah. You can work on the bottom. Freaking fire. There's a lot more willing to give me that little bit of strength. I'll fight your parents feeling, so I'll feel this arm. You get up, and then I'll feel you for the ability. And really that's how I heard it. Did you just whistle vibrate your belly? Don't do that. You got enough space for your walk like yeah, start that way. Go back. Keep leaning. Keep leaning. I would feel that. So you're kind of fighting this other part of your up and but I love that. All I can do is this. I'm fighting that. I got you. Oh, okay, time. Bring it in, bring it in. Before moving on, we're going to do kind of like the regular armbar fight.
depending on timing, depending on how we look, we might pause it and sneak in one, fancy armbar version before we move to one more attack. But I just want to ask, did anybody find any questions or struggles or problems with that, first stroke, not just armbar?
Not a problem. I'm just curious, kind of what I'm not seeing yet. But I always got leaned off and went to more throw my leg over. But Chad and I were spending more time in S mount and fighting, and it feels strong. It feels like why would you leave there? But that's because he's not fighting yet. You know what I mean? Is there what's the rush for your leg? What are your risks in hanging out at S mount?
Not even though I'm bored. I don't feel like there's risks in here. I like hanging out on that stuff. I'll just, I usually have a quarter or something there, and I'll just lean, and then just go over and just keep it tight. Because I'm more afraid of just a leg disorder. I think we're time for that.
Right. Super agree.
Yeah.
My only thought is that it might be naturally taller tower, a little bit less stable. Okay, you're kind of tall, narrow position as compared to mount or the armbar finish, right? Both of those are a little more spread out. You get some natural stability from the shape of those positions. And so there's a little less dynamic possibilities that come from there, at least there tend to be, or there should be naturally. Whereas when you're sitting up there a little tall, you just kind of fall in any direction, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you need to be ready to either chase in any direction or crush them enough to where they don't want to try, So I do think that, I agree with that answer, that you should feel comfortable there. And you shouldn't feel like you have to rush into falling down, right? I do think that we can call this armbar the most popular armbar. I think it's a sacrifice. I think you go fully on top of them to kind of not. My legs are, my thighs are, my face are kind of still on top of them. They're certainly still down. But, man, I had such a good switch when I did give it up. So yeah, I don't feel like you gotta rush. And I think I showed that to my old coach. Just used to sit up there and just finish right there. Dylan was talking about it too, how when he's in that S-mount position, instead of going with the full hook, maybe sometimes he kind of just sneaks in a knee on space and just finishes right there or something, that's a real common finish or attack. That's a good place to be. So I agree with you. Your thoughts?
I think in ways this might just be because I don't often use this mount, so in my experience, I feel a little less mobile there. Mount, maybe that's just because the mount is so easy to transition. I feel like that's mount. Here, I feel like I have to do a little more movement, a little more adjustments, switch to a movement based position.
Stand up right now.
It hurts.
The point was actually not to see if you could stand up without moving your legs. It was to see how much you needed to move your legs in order to stand up. Yeah, it was surprisingly not that hard. Did that hurt a lot? Just a little bit, you feel tightness in your hips or your hips or stuff like that. Always be safe. I never want you to be in danger to hurt you. Don't go hurt yourself. But if you can find the ways to fight in them, and you will get a lot more mobile, you know what I'm saying? I think you're right. Not just the more basic kind of mobile position. All humans can kind of figure out some substitutes here, right? In this baby start position, whereas not all humans have been tied to this kind of position, But you can adjust it and make it a little closer to some other versions if you want. You know what I mean? There might be some variations that help make that better. And the more time you spend, you'll get a lot more comfortable there too. I do think that stuff like this can really slow you down. So that's one of the times I'll remind you to make it safe to practice. Okay, as long as it's safe for you to practice and you're not getting pinches all the time, but just don't let it sometimes. You get comfortable there, you can be so good at that position because it'll work well with your little hopping chairs and stuff we're gonna slide right to the back and stuff like that all day long. That's a good question. I think that's kind of a common question we should be asking in certain positions. I hope that helps. Any other thoughts? Questions? Just armbar. Starting in armbar. I want you to break it. I'm just kidding, guys. No, I'm freaking.
We all got bruises on our arms from this.
I believe it. Now, you know the funny thing? Most of the armbars are actually from the breaking. Most of the bruises come from the slicing pressure, where we're cutting forearm to forearm and then the bicep and then the elbow. I know some of y'all got some soreness right here this week. Okay, I know it, and there may be a little bit of the soreness from the stretching if you fail to tap a little bit. But that's the worst thing that happens, is that I should be really slow, he should fail to tap, and then like, hey bro, your arm's pretty straight. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And then he's just a little full. That's the worst thing that should happen. Yeah, we don't do a lot of like pop, frame, injuries here. Maybe you're going really slow, you're attacking. If it's straight, you win. You can just stare. If it's straight, you can just stare at your partner. And I gotta make sure, like I'll fight and make sure that like it's not very questionable. Okay, there. See, when he wanted to stop when he got straight, I was crazy. When it's straight, I can just sit, look at it, see if each other's cold. You know, look. It's gonna test you at some point. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna test you. You get to make the choice, guys, and you know it's the right choice. It's to help your partner learn. If it's Brady, though, if it's Brady, he might be the 100%.
They'll learn to be Brady.
We're starting in full armbar. We're starting in full armbar, guys. You're just gonna go jump into the armbar however you like. You can go get a single rep in every time. You know, you can climb the mouth, climb into the armbar. That's cool. Or you can just go scoot your butt down and go like this. And get the armbar however you freaking want. Okay. We're starting in the armbar with them like this, and with you like this. Escaping means they have to get their arm out, and they have to get to a decent position, like getting up or getting gone. Okay? They gotta like escape. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
I mean, I'm just start taking 50-pound weight and doing back curl and stuff like that. Just curl out of your armbar and just look at you while I do it.
Yeah, but you realize it's like hip thrust or header. Can you really out curl the deadlift, bro?
You know, you doubt the fact that if I give myself a year or two, I can train myself to.
I really don't know the math, bro.
I don't care about the math.
That's for sure. We're talking about lifting, bro. Shut up. These freaking dorks. Uh-oh. So bad. Hip thrust time. I like your Daniel joke. Here. Please, you're like tight. You need to too closer, Dennis. Too closer. Yes. Just trying to hold. Keep her stuck. And we're trying to get it straight without touching your chest. Keep her down. Lay her down. Keep the arm. She's trying to pull the arm out now. You need to keep it squeezed. Keep your knees safe. Oh, snap. Oh, no. Is her arm still in? You get your elbow straight, we can call it. There it is. Nice. Good heavy legs. Love the slight knee. Good smothering pressure. Clean fuzzy. Good. Excellent. Good scoot. Make it scoot in close and use the leg. Go ahead. Get it close to your hand. Lock your hand. You tried to jump the game. You tried to jump the gap and come back. That looks so funny.
Almost had me roll
that
up.
looks like
You were all like most
there for fighting. That's why
so fucking close.
like. Hey man, this is what happened. You can get out. Yeah, the arm just not straight. Now you can be tapping, sir. Go ahead, Deb. You got tap. Yep. Always tap hard, okay, Deb? It should be like a long little tap. And go. If they get up, dip. Yes. Again. That's my That's kicking the neck and stuff, guys. Good job. Yeah, it's starting an armbar. And you're trying to open and stretch it. Go ahead. Yeah, he wouldn't be. No, he wouldn't be. High legs. Hit his arm. Nice. Keep trying to straighten his arm. Keep his arm. Keep his arm. Why don't you try to move your butt around and go sit behind his arm again? Sit. You're rolling that movie hard to stop. Smart ass. He's so strong too, bro. This is not an underestimate. Like, no, so nice on this. I love that man. He was so fluid. Roll right into a counter. Jeff, you might have to tap. Is that a tap? Good. Keep those elbows and shoulders safe. Keep those knees safe. Nice. Not bad. Trying to circle out. Trying to spin and look at him. It's Jason. That was fire statue reaction. I know he's really hard to chase. He got some amazing, like, natural things. Alright, time! We're starting off with that. Nice! Hey, I just like glanced over and the way that he floated so he's stuck in the air was so awkward. He was really brave and kind of hold on. It was a good catch. I don't even know how to it was great. Any obvious questions? Anything jumping out at you? I have a quick advice for escaping, and then we're going to jump right back in for one more like little lead. Remember what they're trying to break it. Obviously, they're like allowed to combo and switch and go for all sorts of stuff, right? But the common attack here is the arm bar. That's the position we're starting. It is the arm bar attack. And that attack my elbow. It usually breaks, dislocates the center of my arm, right there. So if I can just retrieve that, get that out of here, that is, in my opinion, the simplest, strongest way to stop this arm bar attack. Even if I did something like get up, which is such a good goal, we do that so often, I still might get up and lose. I might get up and then get my arm stretched. But if I get my elbow out, I probably will not get my arm stretched. That's just it. So here's how I like to fight. One, I'm pushing and pulling. The simple mechanics. Okay, a little push-pull goes a long way. I can use my hands. I can eventually learn how to use my legs as a part of the pushing too. And I can push-pull. Now, obviously, I'm being risky. I don't have the backup right now. So if I start getting stretched, I might have to be running to try to save this while I push-pull. But it can still work. The other thing that I do a lot of is spinning. This is a lot like the hitchhiker escape. I saw a full video of this. Look, I try to point my thumb, and then it's like I'm walking my feet around that way. And if I just walk my feet a little bit like this, look at where my elbow is pointing now. If he pulls down on my wrist, that's not a break. That's not a stretch. Yeah, he has to go backwards. So it's already pointing the wrong way, and now I can use my back muscles to try to roll my elbow through his leg. This is one of my main escapes right here. Okay, just pulling my elbow through the leg. And I either do it by turning away and then Americana-ing myself like that. That's what I think of with the hitchhiker. It's like an Americana, right? Or I just turn towards him like I'm trying to barrel roll, and then while I'm rolling, I roll my elbow out. So I gotta keep it bent. Don't unroll your own arm. Don't straighten your own arm. But while I'm twisting this way, it even helps me to get up, because that's just the action of twisting. That's all I was doing. But I keep twisting until this arm starts flipping. And right there, my elbow's free. I'm really not even that scared anymore. At this point, he's unlikely to finish this. He's gonna try to retrieve it back in, and as long as I feel that I can keep that elbow out, I'm good. Okay? So I just want you guys to go try. See if you can focus on the problem. Get your elbow free. So I'm either pulling it down to the floor, or I'm stuck in it between his legs. But if your elbow slips, they gotta bail. They're likely to just combo into something else. And those scrambles are really good chances to escape. Okay? Any questions? Let's go at this or this a little bit. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Couple more minutes, that's all. think we should just do the 3 for a second, Devin, okay? So stay, wait, we'll just keep on trading with the people on the wall. Not everybody's part, you know, we're circling with part, but it's different parts of the game. Suffocating right now? I totally got you,
Yeah, you sent it to me, and like, maybe you sent it to me, I walked out, started a conversation, find out.
I'm out there. I think I actually can remember it now. Themes in the brand, but I'll double check, but I think it's Themes.
Oh.
I think Themes is kind of the top one, and it's like kind of the same brand version for the regular. I got the like Samsung Glass. Great.
This one thing, smooth guy, it's like all, like, you know,
Just make sure you're not getting scammed with their cool name. So like the ones I found it was like $18 instead of like $7. You know, the cheap ones can be really cheap, like 5 and 10. This one was more like 20. Yeah, you know what I mean? Nice. Yep. From that point, I mean, as long as you don't slip up and losing your grip, you got that flyer. Yeah. Shit, really big here trying to stop you. Whoa. Nice, you did crash her out of this. So you bailed out of that attack. Yep. Your right leg is a little strong. All of the things. You've been thinking one of these things too. Yes. Yeah. Good. That would be the devil. Heavy leg. Nice. Strong. Freaking up. Nice. Uh-oh. Elbows down at Devin. I almost called him Evan. Evan and Devin. Don't be too close, okay?
Just so you know, when you do this, I'm not gonna there. You're doing this.
The tight leg.
No, more.
Closing off so much space. Nice, good job. Nice, you were close to it, was slipping. And he got just fired right there. Devin, you still have your wallet, you are. Dad just robbed you? That's amazing. You got robbed on that? They saved you. We fight stage today. Even if that means a couple losses, you might have to tap out. That's okay. Yeah, I love that, Devin. Trying to hug him and roll him. If we're about to throw up or something gets, stretched, we tap. Otherwise, we'll keep on trying to get up, trying to get out. Have the over stage, make sure we're breathing.
Good.
You are good at that. I'm making sure about it.
Never start going from them like this. You're going to be this.
Look good in the eye. Over your
You always want to turn towards me. When you turn away, you show me your back.
The main purpose of that, extra, me showing the defenders a little extra, was actually to help the attackers. So, does anybody know what were the attackers having to do more of? If they would get what's the solution? I think there's one that is really helpful. There's a couple possible ones, I guess. Did you? Good thought. To keep the elbow high is very, very important to just target. They're obviously thinking about this elbow, so I have to think about it too. So focus the attention behind the tension. That's important.
Another shoulder pull upward. Or leaving a fast hand the other, pulling up, pulling back.
Gotcha.
It also just too deep under the shoulder to begin with.
Mm.
Or I really like a cigar cutter because it almost blocks that exit path.
Get under the shoulder is dope. The card cutter is dope.
keeping your legs pinched.
Yeah, I feel like that is how I would answer this question, and I would just group the answers into that. Which is just like, you need to have tighter legs. I think that in the beginning, you can get away with like arm barring people like this, and then as they start to learn that their hip is still a little bit, hipping out kind of strong, and back muscles are kind of strong, you're not going to get away with it. You're not going to, you will never arm bar people like that. That's hilarious. It feels so funny when kind of a newer person does this. And it's so tempting not to immediately break in all the way to an ankle lock where they're at. Okay, it's just not that tight. But stuff like, you know, a little cigar cutter kind of like weaving around just their shoulder with a little triangle motion. Maybe you learn to like kind of weave under over their neck, or, you know, you can do so many different things with your legs. One thing that I do a lot is, since my legs are kind of tall, that's too tall for somebody's neck, right? Like no neck is that tall. So I shrink the triangle down just by leaving them like this. That's what I do. Right, that's too big, so I need to shrink down towards the floor. I do it all the time. It kind of makes me lean to my side as I'm fighting, but I make sure that we're still hitting the person, so it's not a problem. It's pretty good. You know, and that's just the tiny little detail that I'm using to stop them from doing what I should. Obviously, I'm trying to help people get good at this motion, but I'm not just going to go lose every arm bar. Okay, my legs are tight, my hips are under the shoulder, and I'm learning some cool grips like the, you know, how to figure four, how to weave my legs. There's a lot of options. And you also can fix it by being stronger with your arms. I like the Kimura grip. I like the, you know, you guys thought about pulling the arm up high, like stuff like that is a really smart solution to this problem. Just freaking beat that up off the floor. But I think your legs are important, and it's something that a lot of people miss for a good while. So get them legs working. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Ideas.
Keep the shoulder isolated.
Shoulder isolated. So we're not letting them get the shoulder that even, we're keeping the shoulder apart.
And the lever so you can break the elbow.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's true. You do have to make sure that we have something like kind of pressing and pushing here. Otherwise,
I like to do the pins and knees, so all of the guard center stuff, all that stuff is just basically isolating the shoulder, right?
so, makes sense. Yeah, if you don't have that like downward pressure on the other side, it would break. Right? You would just like stretch this down, and this would go up, and this would go up, and nothing would break. So you have to keep this part of stuff too. Yeah, that does matter. I didn't even know what you meant at the start, but yeah, that's a crucial part of it. No, it's not. Okay, one final attack today. I think we're gonna do the other. I think we're gonna do the guard. So there's another really common one, but we're gonna make sure we got some, you know, decent stuff. On the locker and guard. Just a nice little guard. I'm going to grab one arm, pull it up towards my face. This is the thing where you're making the elbow long, like pulling it off the floor, right? So I'm going to extend that elbow away, make sure that it's off the floor. The floor is right here. So it's off the floor, and then I can get an angle and hook my legs in, or step my legs into position. The way I get my angle is that I like to step on the hip behind the arm bar. My leg is helping to block so that they don't suck it back in easily. Okay, and then I'm going to use my leg and my hand to help steer them across so that I am making that cross body position like a plus sign. My leg should come high into the armpit and bite down towards the opposite shoulder. Okay, if I'm down here, I'm going to get overpowered. They're going to overmuscle me so often. But as I climb for that leverage, I have a nice long reach. That fits people. Okay, so now I've got a good angle, and I can throw the final leg over there. From here, I just pinch, curl, same thing, and then I break it right here. Sometimes, because they're missing their arm over there, as I pressure down on that side, they might tip over. That's fine. Just don't go extra fast while they're falling. Let them fall and then break it, okay? Ooh, and you know when I say break it, I mean hip it down. Good job. Grip, I'm pulling. You can make this grip as, you know, fancy as you want to, so you guys have to remember 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a fun setup. But I actually have been doing this a lot more. It's really fun, and then I combo with like scooping things with this is the free hand or pushing them. I guess it's a bunch of fun. Feel this, step here, push, and now I can throw the final leg around. That part's not hard. Pinch, curl, and straight. Got it. Any questions? Look at that guard. 1, 2, 3. Get a few of these, and then fight from guard. See if we can get some attack. Fight from the bar. This is when we're going to get our partner against them. Okay, this is when we're going to feel our partner against them. Will you jump in with those guys? Yes. Right there. Yeah, now you start with anything in your degree, OCD 2.